Hello everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Watch my video and subscribe my channel. After Grace's medical fraud was revealed, would Liam's hypocrisy follow? Spoilers for Bold and Beautiful uncover Dr. Grace Buckingham's multimillion-dollar medical scam. Will Liam be destroyed by his own hidden secret about fabricating Caroline's illness, even if he was never going to die? Exposed. $1 million medical fraud. Liam was always a living man, but his hypocrisy may death him. Bold and Beautiful History's largest medical scam is about to detonate. Soap aficionados, hold on to your seats because we are about to reveal something that will leave you speechless. The most perilous game in Los Angeles has been played by Dr. Grace Buckingham, and her house of cards is poised to collapse spectacularly. The woman we used to regard as the epitome of a medical expert? She has been doing sham procedures, phoning brain scans, and drugging Liam Spencer in an attempt to extract a cool $1 million from Bill Spencer Jr. This is where it gets interesting, though. Really juicy. One small issue prevents the Spencer men from launching their full-scale attack on Grace for this heinous betrayal. They have already done the exact same thing, and the individual they targeted? The truth is still unknown to him. The structure of a $1 million deception. Let's dissect this bizarre story of medical manipulation that has been taking place in front of our very eyes. Liam wound up under the care of Dr. Grace Buckingham after suffering a severe fall during a furious altercation with his father. An ordinary emergency operation for a brain hemorrhage devolved into something much darker. Grace broke the heartbreaking news that Liam had a brain tumor that could not be removed. Terminal. There is no hope. Can you imagine how devastated Bill would be? His son, passing away in front of him. But hold on, things get worse. Grace allegedly began drugging Liam to produce symptoms that matched her made-up disease in order to make this phony diagnosis seem plausible. We are discussing a woman who, day in and day out, manipulated brain scans, fabricated medical papers, and witnessed a father's heartbreak. Bill waited for a miracle to save his son for months while he watched him deteriorate. Grace then performed that miracle, an experimental cure that only she could administer, like a guardian angel from hell. The cost? Millions. Money. Bill made no hesitation. Naturally, he didn't. This is his son that we are discussing. Before you could say Spencer Publications, he sent that money, and Grace underwent her life-saving surgery. Plot twist. There was no surgery, though. She covered her tracks with a ton of erased evidence and a cosmetic cut to make it appear authentic. The physicians who wouldn't keep quiet. Let's welcome Dr. Bridget Forrester and Dr. John Finnegan, our medical heroes. There was something about Liam's incredible recuperation that both of them found objectionable. The absence of comprehensive surgical reports, the unfathomably rapid recuperation, the way Grace became anxious whenever they inquired. They conducted a thorough investigation out of their professional curiosity, and when they eventually cornered Grace, the truth spilled out like a broken dam. She told the truth about everything. All of it. The phony diagnosis, the drugging, the phony operation, and the $1 million payout. Appalled by this egregious violation of medical ethics, Finn insisted that Grace come clean right away. No more falsehoods. No more lying. Hope and Liam are deserving of the truth. But this is when the hypocrisy becomes more evident. Liam and Bill are currently getting ready for battle. They intend to ruin Grace, file charges, revoke her medical license, and ensure that she never again practices medicine. They will be completely indignant. They will be ruthlessly condemned. There is only one issue. Do you recall 2017? When Thomas Forrester was informed by Bill Spencer that Caroline Spencer had a fatal autoimmune disease. To break up Thomas and Sally Spectra so Bill could take the Spectre Fashions building for his valuable tower. Do you recall that it was a complete lie? You don't recall Liam's part in that, do you? Let me remind you. Liam was aware of his father's plan. Indeed, he was subjected to moral torment. When isn't he? But what did our gallant Liam do when Thomas asked him directly about Caroline's health? He lied while staring Thomas in the eye. He kept up the scam. Thinking his child's mother was dying, he allowed Thomas to leave town. What about Steffi? She was also aware. To preserve Forrester's interests and get rid of Sally. She actually believed that the lie was necessary. Wyatt Spencer? In on it as well, remaining silent out of fear of being shunned. The worst part, Thomas is still unaware that his long-standing opponent and his own sister were complicit in this fraud. He is unaware that they stood by and did nothing as they saw him suffer, uproot his entire existence and mourn an untimely death. The unachievable decision of the desperate mother. Let's discuss why Grace did this before we all go on our pitchforks and storm her office. Because Grace had a pistol to her head, in contrast to Bill's avaricious falsehood about Caroline. Literally, her ex-husband, Dr. Reese Buckingham, was previously motivated to take baby Beth because of his gambling debts. They have returned. When the mobsters who were owed that money returned, they threatened Paris and Zoe, Grace's daughters. This has nothing to do with constructing a skyscraper or ending a romantic relationship that irritated you. This mother was attempting to preserve the lives of her children. Is that correct? Not at all. However, doesn't that make Bill and Liam's impending self-righteous rage seem even more hypocritical? Everything could be destroyed by that time bomb. I'm on the edge of my seat since the authors have been holding off on revealing the Thomas/Caroline deception for years. It is their greatest secret weapon. When will they use it? Boom. Imagine Thomas discovering that his own sister was deceiving him about something as severe as the death of his child's mother, while he's been portrayed as the family villain and chastised for his machinations. Imagine him learning that Liam, the pious, critical Liam, was actively engaging in the same type of dishonesty for which he had consistently criticized Thomas. The family of Forrester would implode. The tenuous harmony among the family would be shattered. Thomas would have valid ammunition against Liam and Steffi that may permanently alter the balance of power. The following events will shook you. What will happen next? There's little doubt that Grace is toast. The Buckingham family curse of inherited repercussions will strike again, and she will likely be written off the show sooner than you can say gambling debts, lose her medical license, and be charged with a crime. Since evidently near-death experiences are the only thing that can keep Liam and Hope together for longer than 5 minutes. It seems likely that they will use this shared trauma to get back together. I'm sorry, Carter, but it appears like you will be benched once more. But what about the actual drama? That will happen when someone brings up the Caroline lie, possibly Grace herself in a last-ditch effort to divert attention. Can you picture Liam's expression as he is standing there denouncing Grace, and someone asks him, "Didn't you actually do the same thing to Thomas?" A boulder is going to be thrown into the glass house owned by the Spencer men. The fans recall every detail. The audience never forgets, but the characters readily forget their own transgressions. Fans are already pointing out the hypocrisy on social media. Bill took the same action, they are yelling. At that time, where was Liam's moral outrage? The most annoying aspect? We are all aware of how this will unfold. The outsider, Grace, will receive harsh punishment. The legacy characters, Liam and Bill, will continue to have heroic auras. It's almost offensive how obvious the double standard is. But, writers, we see you. The patterns are visible to us. We recall the past, and we won't allow Liam to ride high without informing everyone that he contributed to its creation by spreading false information. There's no doubt that this medical fraud story will reveal more than simply Grace's dishonesty. The rotten hypocrisy at the core of the Spencer family's empire will be exposed. And truthfully, I can't wait to see everything fall apart. Will Thomas discover the truth at last? Will Liam even notice himself for a second? When Bill looks in the mirror, will he see his own guilt? Sheila forces a confession. Lee tells Finn the truth about Luna. Lee Finnegan is seen concealing Luna Nozawa, who is in a coma in Bold and the Beautiful. Soon after, Sheila Carter comes very near to learning the truth. The dilemma is whether Sheila will force Lee to reveal the startling reality to their son Finn after learning that Luna is still alive. We'll discuss Sheila's response to Luna's survival and why she might believe Finn should be informed that his daughter is still alive and that Lee should come clean. The reason for Luna's survival and Sheila's suspicion in Bold and the Beautiful. Sheila meets Lee at the end of this week. Additionally, the two are somewhat taken aback by the outcome of that meeting. Sheila might catch Lee with Luna at this point. We are aware that Sheila is fed up with Lee's refusal to provide information regarding where she buried Luna or where she scattered her ashes. I could definitely picture Sheila pursuing Lee in an attempt to get answers, because Lee is acting so shady. At that point, Sheila might arrive at the location where Lee is tending to Luna, who is unconscious. Since this would resemble a reenactment of the entire Finn scenario, Lee would undoubtedly be shocked to see Sheila at the door. At least for the time being, Lee is determined to keep Luna's survival a secret from everyone. Sheila's special role in the Luna mystery and Lee's tests. When Lee told her sister Poppy Nozoa that Luna was dead at the hospital, I thought she was testing her. I believe Lee wanted to tell Poppy that Luna wasn't truly dead and to see if she had any regrets. That didn't work out. After Luna apparently passed away, I also thought Lee was trying Finn to see if he was relieved like Poppy or if he regretted losing his daughter. But it's not hateful. To test the waters with Sheila, I believe Lee also made an appearance at Aiel Giardino. The three of them, Poppy, Sheila, and Finn. Only Sheila, I believe, passed Lee's test. She has yet to come clean, though. Sheila's astonishment and emotional reaction to Luna's survival. Sheila would be shocked to discover Lee with Luna. Her granddaughter Luna's passing has crushed her at the moment. So, it would be fantastic for Sheila to find Luna and Lee alive, but unconscious. Sheila would be angry with Lee for lying and making everyone believe Luna was dead. But I also believe Sheila would completely see Lee's reasoning for feeling the need to conceal the fact that Luna survived on Bold and the Beautiful. Since Sheila is an exception to the rule, she might be angry that Lee kept the secret from her. She won't tell Steffi Forrester or flee to the police. Lee's ability to rescue Luna's life and the fact that the death story was untrue will make Sheila very happy. Numerous people are claimed to be dying, which is wrong. Sheila's will to assist, and Lee's pressure to tell Finn the truth. Even though Sheila may be irritated that Lee misled her about their granddaughter, I do believe that her primary response will be one of relief and thankfulness. Regardless of whether Lee accepts the assistance or not, I believe Sheila will then want to be active in Luna's recovery. Sheila might also put pressure on Lee to inform Finn that Luna is still alive, in my opinion. However, since Finn might tell Steffi, Lee might explain to her the drawbacks of it. He may even inform the police. We all know that once Steffi returns to town, she would stop at nothing to put her stepdaughter in jail if she finds out that Luna is still alive. This is quite understandable. Not a Luna fan. She is a lone killer who uses her horrible mother as an excuse. In all likelihood, Finn may likewise be extremely concerned about Steffi's safety and conclude that Luna ought to be imprisoned. Sheila, however, might believe that he wouldn't hand her up to the police. That would be foolish faith, in my opinion. Since Luna is ultimately Finn's daughter and he is mourning her passing, I could understand Sheila having it. Sheila might believe that he should be aware that Luna is still alive and being cared for by Lee. Finn is also a doctor. Given that Luna is still unconscious and has been on Bold and the Beautiful for so long, Sheila would believe he could assist Lee in trying to save her. Lee's reluctance to share the storyline's future and Luna's survival. Sheila might start pressuring Lee to tell Finn once she has come to terms with the reality that Luna is still alive. It makes sense to me that Lee would shut Sheila down. Lee is probably thinking that she will ultimately inform Finn. But why inform anyone right now, when Luna is asleep and everyone is so fresh about the shootings? We are aware that Lisa Yamada had to take a break from Bold and the Beautiful in order to film her upcoming Amazon Prime movie. In order for Lisa to resume recording, Luna must stay unconscious for a short while. Luna should be awake for September episodes, which are only a few weeks away, according to the latest information. When Sheila finds out that Luna is still living, I do worry if she will be able to keep it to herself. Sheila probably wouldn't tell Deacon Sharp because he won't be pleased to hear it. I do wonder, though, if Sheila will be able to keep her mouth shut and hide it from Finn, or if she will break and tell him when Luna is unconscious. Sheila might be able to keep the secret, in my opinion. Lee will probably do all in her power to conceal the fact that Luna survived. It's terrible enough if Sheila forces her way into the scenario. "Look, I can just move Luna and you'll never find her," Lee will likely say, drawing a line in the sand. Lee might also propose a middle ground. She will allow Sheila to assist her in caring for Luna. They can then decide what and when to inform Finn after their grandchild is steady and conscious. Sheila and Lee's possible bond and Luna's redemption story. Sheila might have to make do with helping Lee look after Luna and then wait for Lee to change his mind about telling their son Finn about his daughter. Given their shared goal of saving Luna, Sheila and Lee may even begin to get along and eventually put aside their past hostility toward Jack Finnegan. We never see Jack since he has long since left. Anything is conceivable if Steffi can come to terms with Sheila and acknowledge that she is a hero for saving Steffi's life. Sheila and Lee can talk about it when Luna wakes up, and then they can bring Finn in to show him that his daughter is alive. Then, of course, what is the question? Luna will be sent to prison if the police discover she is still alive. That might be Lee's last strategy. Perhaps she spared Luna's life, but she wants her to take responsibility and change, and accept the repercussions of her behavior. She does not, however, wish for her death. Given how sympathetic Lee has been to Luna, the shooting, and all that has been happening with Poppy, I have a hunch that Lee might not want Luna behind bars. We shall see. Lee claims that Poppy is solely to blame for Luna's development. Perhaps Bold and the Beautiful will begin a redemption arc for Finn's daughter once she awakens. Or, as everyone in LA despises or fears Luna, especially Steffi, they may simply send her away to begin a new life elsewhere. Ridge delays Brooke's reunion because he feels bad about Taylor. So we'll see if Luna stays after she wakes up to make apologies or to continue frightening people. The Bold and the Beautiful rumors indicate that Ridge Forrester will delay his reunion with Brooke Logan, because BMB fans will see Ridge pump the brakes out of guilt for Taylor Hayes. Brooke will have to wait for their happy ending. After Ridge's dramatic rescue in Naples, the shift in tone was easy to notice. Ridge was shaken by the fact that he almost lost Brooke, and it made him consider what life would be like without her. After doing CPR and restoring Brooke's respiration, Ridge realized he couldn't keep taking her for granted. At the moment, Ridge seemed committed to repairing their shattered relationship and held Brooke near. At least that was how he felt. Of course, reality will set in once Ridge boards an aircraft to return to Los Angeles. Ridge's fiancée has been waiting for him at home, so it will be hard for him to confront Taylor now that he knows Brooke is the one he wants. Ridge has broken Taylor's heart more times than he can recall, so the thought of doing it again will be too much for him to handle. Even if Ridge tries to come clean about kissing Brooke and having a genuine love revelation, Taylor will still be giddy with excitement for their upcoming wedding. Taylor will act as if the ring would never come off and emphasize the necessity for Brooke to find a new future. In the end, Ridge won't be able to execute his plan to break up with Taylor quite yet. Ridge is likely to tell Brooke directly that Taylor's medical problems and broken heart syndrome are to blame. Since Ridge knows he was a major contributor to Taylor's suffering in the past, he won't want to bring her any more pain. Even if Ridge still plans to terminate the engagement in the end, he may feel compelled to ease Taylor into this. Because he doesn't want to tell Taylor about his reunion with Brooke too soon, Ridge will put off the inevitable. Ridge and Brooke's fate has undoubtedly been opened by all of the drama in Italy, but it will take some more time before they can be together fully. Previews for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Brooke will have to wait for Ridge till then. Is Poppy's new Bond Deacon surprise affair? Teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful suggest that Deacon Sharp would never get over Luna Nozawa killing his close friends and colleagues. However, he continues to try to support Sheila Carter Sharp during her loss. Given that the waitress will soon discover Lee Finnegan's secret, Deacon might be alone a lot. Could he and Poppy Nozawa, who both celebrated the murderer's death, become friends? As you read on, let's talk about what might happen next in the CBS soap opera, The Luna Nozawa Death. Let's begin with the death of Luna. Fans know that Lee was the last person left with Luna after emergency surgery. Luna had died during her recuperation before anyone realized. However, fans soon learned that their worries were valid. After staging a death once more, Lee is secretly caring for the patient in a suite. This was similar to Lee's treatment of John Finnegan. Sheila Carter Sharp's grief. Sheila has been unable to say goodbye to Luna. The grandma was shocked to learn that Luna's memorial service had already been finished. She then wanted to find out where she was buried as a last farewell. However, the doctor refuses to tell her anything. The error of Lee Finnegan. Sheila worries about Lee, but she isn't yet distrustful of her, according to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful. Since Lee took a leave of absence from the hospital, the waitress thinks that she was more impacted by Luna's death than most people understand. But in reality, Lee needs time off to give Luna the care she needs. Lee was trying to acquire supplies and medicine for a comatose Luna when she ran upon Sheila and dropped everything. Surprisingly, Sheila was not aware that Lee was clearly stealing prescription medications from the hospital. Otherwise, it was clear from Sheila's tone that she was deeply worried about Lee. When the doctor didn't answer, Sheila insisted on knowing the whereabouts of her grandchild. Deacon Sharp and Poppy Nozawa's affair? If Lee wants to keep her secret, she might want help. Lee might therefore take Sheila to see a comatose Luna. Lee will most likely give an explanation before demanding that Sheila remain silent. However, doing so puts Sheila and Deacon's marriage in danger. However, what would happen if Deacon chose someone else? The two are at odds over Luna's mortality. Deacon wants to throw a wedding while Sheila is grieving. As a result, he will need a confidant who understands his feelings. That person may have been Luna's mother, who was glad her daughter was dead. Spoilers and key moments from The Bold and the Beautiful that will change the lives of Lee, Liam, and Bill. Bill learns Grace cheated on him on The Bold and the Beautiful image, CBS. Bill has lately gone through considerable emotional turmoil after almost losing Liam in a number of ways. But the most important was when he gave Grace $1 million for experimental surgery to save his child. Finally, Bill seems careless about allocating his funds to a good cause. Dollar Bill might be generating enough new leaves to grow into a tree. Will Bill be ready for a committed relationship too, now that he's more aware and understanding?